When you're thinking about website sales and when you're thinking about growing a business and growing a brand, it's not just about what's on your website, even though that's really important. It's about your entire online and digital marketing strategy.
You're listening to Thrive by Design, business, marketing, and lifestyle strategies for your jewelry brand to flourish and thrive. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Thrive by Design podcast, episode 145. Hello there. It's Tracy Matthews, the Chief Visionary Officer over at Flourish and Thrive. And I'm stoked to be here today to be talking about some things that I really like to talk about, and that is connecting with dream clients. And the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because creating that connection is really what keeps people coming back for more. And it's no surprise that the theme of our live event this year, Flourish and Thrive Live, is connection. I'm super stoked about it. We are having our live event September 26th and 27th here in New York City. We have some fun days planned around that. And we are literally, we just finished, wrapped up a insider sale for people who actually went to the live event last year. And we have sold out 50% of the tickets in 2 days. So we know that this is going to be awesome. Our live event is proven to be one of the most amazing things that we do over here at Flourish and Thrive. And we have a very limited number of seats because we like to curate very small, intimate experiences. So we're 50% of the way already sold out for Flourish and Thrive Live 2018. So if you're interested in hearing more about it, I'm going to have links in the show notes. We do have an early bird offer that is going on. It will end at the end of April. So make sure that you definitely check it out. This year, we're going to be having some surprises involved in the event. And I just had dinner with one of our fingers crossed speakers last night, and you're going to really want to hear her speak and talk on the panel, etc., because she's really amazing. And she has a lot of influence in the retail world with what she's been doing for brands like Anthropologie, Opening Ceremony, and so many more. And I'm not going to spill the beans yet. We're going to talk about it later when it's all dialed in. And we're going to have some really great media influencers there. Last year, we had my girl Sabina talking, and we also had some really great on-air talent and stylists for magazines like Vogue and The Today Show, Good Morning America, Pamela Peckerman, and Dawn Del Russo. And we are going to prove to you to even blow last year out of the water. So I'm very, very excited about this. The event, just for those of you who don't know, runs the gamut. Our focus this year is connection because we're trying to help you build a connection with your dream clients online and off, but really using that connection to convert people who've never met you before into loyal, raving fans, customers who buy from you all the time. That's what we all want, right? So that's our focus this year. And we're going to walk you through the 2 days. The first day is really about marketing and sort of new things that are happening in the digital marketing world and how you can use those to your benefit. Robin will be wrapping that up with a sales conversation all about creating connection with your dream clients and having better sales conversations virtually and also in person, which is going to be awesome. And then day number 2 is all about, you guessed it, the business side of things, because we like to do that. Who knew last year the hot topic was insurance? And so this year, I'm sure we're going to have some other really amazing hot topics. The venue is over at Yotel here in New York City. It's a really cute, funky place. You're going to love the room. It has graffiti. We have a great outdoor area where we're going to have drinks every day after the event. It's just awesome. We're having a lot of fun planning this, and this year is going to be amazing. So I'm excited about it. So if you're interested in joining us, tickets are selling fast. I'm actually really surprised at the response this year. I think last year was just so amazing that people snatched up the tickets right away. You can head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/FTA Live 2018 and check out and investigate if you want to get a ticket for yourself, because it's going to be a blast. All right, you guys, I am going to dive into today's episode. Today, I am talking about how to create a real connection on your website with your dream clients. It's a lot easier than you think. And I know I talk about topics like this a lot, but I'm really passionate. So I like to keep teaching you again and again in different ways so that you really absorb it into your skin. Because when you're thinking about website sales and when you're thinking about growing a business and growing a brand, it's not just about what's on your website, even though that's really important. It's about your entire online and digital marketing strategy. So I was talking with a designer who is in our SOS program during our call that we had yesterday. We have 2 monthly calls where I do hot seats with them and we jump in and then I bring in experts and all these amazing people to come in. In fact, last week we had an SEO workshop with Dale Bertrand, which was awesome. We spent a day doing maker videos with some of the SOS designers. It's just a really amazing experience and an awesome group coaching program. So if you're ready to elevate your brand, I will definitely have a link in the show notes so that you can check it out and get on the waiting list for when we open enrollment for that again. But one of the things that we were talking about on this call was that what do you do when you're getting a lot of traffic to your site, but that traffic's not necessarily converting? And so I want to help you guys set proper expectations for all this. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. But I want to dive right in before we do to talk about today's sponsor, Shopify. So Shopify is an amazing website platform. I'm not sure if you have a website yet or if you're using some janky old GoDaddy templated site that's not really working for you. But if you are not on a really good, solid platform like Shopify, I highly recommend that you think about moving over. Shopify, I'm sold on Shopify. I used to be a huge WordPress fan, and I've seen time and time again how amazing Shopify is getting results for the designers that we work with over here at Flourish and Thrive. And here's the reason why. They have easy to use templates. You can literally put your website up in a weekend. If you're using one of the very simple templates, you could just plug and play if you get the right sizing and everything. It's super easy to DIY, but you can also custom code the website so that it's totally branded and working for you and, you're getting higher conversions, etc. It is one of the best website platforms for converting SEO and attracting SEO traffic, search engine optimized traffic to your site because it has built-in features just for that. There are so many plugins and so many apps that you can actually use to make your Shopify site even better. In fact, I did a whole episode on this and I'll link it in the show notes. It's episode number 127, fan favorite Shopify apps to crush your e-commerce sales. And it's just a really easy, if you're ready to start doing upsells or downsells or cross sells to different products, there's apps and plugins that can actually just do that for you. You don't have to think about it too much. If you want to create an abandoned cart sequence, they have an app that you could just literally plug in that sets that all up for you without you having to figure out the tech behind it, which is super cool. And also the other thing I love about Shopify is that they really love their people. And because we love them so much, we worked with them to get the Flourish and Thrive members a 10% off discount for an entire year off your Shopify payment plan or membership. And we also negotiated a free trial. So if you are someone who is thinking about moving over to Shopify, you're sick and tired of your website platform as it is, make sure that you head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/Shopify. You can check out how easy it is to set Shopify up. You can also, once you head over there, you can sign up, get your free trial, and then you'll also automatically be set up to get your 10% off for an entire year. Definitely check it out. We love Shopify over here. Alrighty. So at the end of this episode, we're going to dive right in to how to create a real connection on your website with your dream clients. But I also have a very special resource for you called Websites That Work. And I'm going to actually link it in the show notes. And I'll tell you a little bit more about how to get that later. It's a really great resource. We're basically going to tell you 27 ways to captivate and convert your dream clients online, which is what we all want to do. Get more traffic to our website. So let's dive into how to create a real connection on your website with your dream clients. So I was talking with a designer in our SOS call, as I mentioned earlier, about traffic on her website. She was saying she just put up a new website and it wasn't converting in the way that she actually wanted it to. But she has great online sales. She's not thinking strategically about everything else that is working. So we kind of talked through some of the things that she was doing, and she had made some really amazing changes. And she just moved over to a new website, a new platform, a new website URL. And so it's taking time for some things to catch up, and she's feeling a little bit defeated. So I was asking her, digging in a little bit deeper about what was going on. And she was saying, I get a lot of sales when I do these, when I email my list and I, get them to join my Facebook group, or get a lot of sales right away when I post something in my Facebook group because I sent an email out to my list to tell them to take a look at it. Or I get a lot of sales when I do Facebook trunk show or something like that. And so I don't want you to think short-sighted about some of the things that you are doing to actually get sales online, because Building an online business is a holistic strategy. It doesn't mean that you're just converting only cold traffic, people who have never heard or seen about you, heard of about you, seen you, or any of that before, getting those people to buy. That is amazingly huge. The best fans that you are ever going to have are those fans that you've created a connection with, those dream clients that you've created that connection with. So I don't want you to think short-sighted when you're getting traffic to your site, feeling defeated or deflated because maybe you're not converting more than the normal 1% of the traffic that's coming to the site. If you're less than that, you got to figure some things out. If you're higher than that, let's say you're getting 3 sales for every 100 visitors, unique visitors, you're doing an awesome job. I just want to tell you that. So think about that. Like creating a connection is multifaceted. It's not just about what you're doing on your website. It's your whole online strategy. So I had to remind my student here that she was actually doing a really good job. And she actually really just came up with some great ideas about things that she's using on her website as well that I loved. So I want to walk you through some of the things that you can do to actually create a real connection on your website and beyond with your dream clients. All right. So the first and foremost thing that you need to do is really laying the groundwork to create that connection. And that comes through a couple of things: accessibility, personality, the trust that you're creating, and by setting expectations of what happens next, depending on the type of brand that you are. So let's talk a little bit about this. Accessibility. Can they reach a real human being? And is it very evident that they're going to be able to reach someone, if they have a question or want a response? So it's really important for you to have accessibility. Make sure that you have either a live chat or a message us button that sends to Facebook Messenger, that you have a active working contact form on your site where people can send you a message that has an auto response or sends them to a thank you page, and set the expectations, as I mentioned earlier, about when you're going to actually respond to those people. Highly recommended that you try to get back to them within just a few hours during regular business hours every single day. And that you're infusing that with a little bit of personality, and that you're building trust. So the personality can come in through your visual imagery, through video, through testimonials on your site, through the way that you write about you and your brand, and also how you connect with your dream client. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that later because some of these are slightly interconnected, but it's really important. So the personality comes out in a lot of different ways. So think about the way you're actually photographing your work, or you're photographing model shots, or you're photographing imagery. That creates a huge personality that creates a connection and lays the groundwork in this first part of building that real connection with your clients. So we talked about laying the groundwork. That includes accessibility. How can they reach you? How do they know what to expect next? The personality of your brand that you're putting out there, and the trust that you're building with your clients online by being accessible and creating social proof that allows them to see that you're legit, whether it be in the form of video or text or whatever. And also, I didn't mention this, but client testimonials, we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next section, which is all about building trust. So I mentioned this before, like when you have something like an auto response that tells people when they should expect to hear from you, that is one factor that really builds trust and creates a connection. And in that autoresponder, you can give them the next step or something that they can do. So let's say, hey, like your auto response could say something like, thank you so much for reaching out. I'm in the process of helping other clients. I'll respond to you as quickly as I possibly can between our business hours of X to Y. In the meantime, why don't you go check us out over on Instagram? We'd love to, see how you're wearing, Tracy Matthews jewelry or whatever it is. So there's just a lot of great ways that you can create that connection and start building that trust and having a conversation right away with your clients. If, let's say you do something that's, high touch or custom work, you can build trust by allowing them to book a call right away with you. So they fill out your form, you send them a redirect to a thank you page that allows them to book a call so they can get on the phone with you to actually talk about their project. You can pre-screen and vet them. And maybe you have 2 sets of redirect pages, like someone doesn't meet your baseline parameters, like let's say their budget's too low or something like that. You can send them to another page that says, thank you so much for your inquiry. We'll be in touch shortly. Just keep in mind that, custom orders start at, whatever the budget is, or commissioned pieces start at X, Y, and Z, and lay the groundwork for you to actually for them to really understand what the next steps are. So sky's the limit here. You can tell them what to expect. You can tell them how the process works, give them more information, maybe have a video on that page of you talking to them. So many different things that you can do to thank them. You can also make it really easy for people to get on the phone with you. You can have a scheduling phone call app just like literally directly on your contact page if that's something that you want to do. You have your phone number listed on the page. Typically, most people won't want to call you, but in certain cases, they might want to pick up the phone and get on the phone with you. Make sure that you have, as I mentioned before, some sort of live chat or messenger app hooked up to the front of your site. That helps them know that you are there and available. And make sure that you have some sort of automated response that allows you to, number one, be notified if someone is actually messaging you. And also that gives them expectations of what to expect. So if you're never really on live chat, don't have live chat on there. But if you're on Facebook, you can install a messenger app, have an auto response through ManyChat on there. And that auto response can potentially ping you, or you can check your Facebook Messenger every single day and eventually just, start a conversation through Messenger so that people know the actual next steps. You can also deliver a phone number in your Messenger app, tell them what to expect, have a conversation with questions where they can select responses as well. So there's so much that you can do. Make sure that you're using content that actually connects as well. We're going to talk a little bit about that momentarily, but I talk a lot about video and how that builds trust on your website. Video in a lot of different ways. I know Jocelyn Crane, I had her speak at our live event last year, which was really awesome because she was in our mastermind program. And I helped her set up a script and a format for her maker video. And, we were working on scripting the whole thing out. And, we just scrapped the whole thing. I just said, look, Jocelyn, you can script this, but I really think you should approach this another way and just have some things that you want to say, bullet them out and list them out and see what comes out of your mouth, because this might be the thing that creates a little bit of a better connection. And I was so blown away by what came out of her mouth because her videographer asked her why she was doing this. And she talked about her journey being born with, I don't know what you call it, but like a birth disorder where she has a genetic disorder that she has a shortened arm. And so because of that, she is not able to work like fully at a jewelry bench. And instead, she really loved working in CAD. And that was her way to actually design jewelry. And when she shared that story, like I got the chills. Like I get the chills every single time I see it because I feel so connected to who she is as a brand. And she's able to like sort of speak to her dream clients and what her brand is all about in that brand video. And we can all do the same. I've done it with my video. In fact, I've shared this story many times, but I was dating someone many years ago and he in fact, I just reshot my brand video. We'll let you guys know for sure when it's back up. But he was like sort of cyber stalking me as you do when you're first dating someone, and he found my website and was like, oh my God, your story and the story of your mom. I just like am blown away. Geez, like, that's just so heart touching and I can't believe it. And I was like, that's good marketing, right? Because it helped him create a connection with me. And he was already starting to really like me just by watching that video. So that's the point of using that. Also, make sure that you have your policies clearly stated, like all your legal policies, like terms and conditions, your privacy policies, but also in a way, especially if you're collecting email addresses, make sure that you have your privacy policy linked on that email address opt-in, because that's a great way for people to know that you're not going to be sharing their email addresses with sketchy people and that they can trust you with their information. But also return policies, answers to frequently asked questions, so that they don't have to go searching or wonder if what you're doing is, shady and if you can be trusted. They want to know right away, like clearly stated what they get and what to expect on the next steps. I had to tell you something. I bought some bathing suits a couple years ago, or last year, I think, from a website, which will remain nameless. They had the best bikinis around. Like they really had the most amazing bathing suits. And when you can't try them on in person, you have to buy a couple things, couple sizes, couple styles, because you're not really sure what's going to work. So I think I had bought maybe like $4,000 worth of bathing suits. I was going on a beach vacation. I knew I wanted to get a one piece and 2 bikinis throughout the process. And so I had to order 2 sizes, and I also got a cover up and a couple of other things. But I knew that I was probably only going to keep about $500 worth of that merchandise. It's just like I had to put that much money out in order to get exactly what I was looking for from size or whatever. I didn't have time to shop. It was the cold of winter. The thought of going into a big bathing suit store just like really freaked me out. Anyway, I will never shop from them again. And here's the reason why. I returned all of the product. I got a tracking receipt that the product was returned. And for 2-3 weeks, they held on to my money without refunding me. And I kept calling them and asking them where my refund was. And they kept giving me the runaround. And I will never trust them with my money again. Same thing with a brand called Target. I don't know what's going on with them, but I bought a table and the table came broken twice. I returned it and tracked that the table was returned. And they keep saying that they can't find one of the shipments when I have clear tracking that it was delivered. And they were holding on to my money for the table. And I ended up doing a chargeback through the bank, which is not my first choice of option because I don't think that that's really like the best way to approach it. You always want to try to work it out with the company first. But they literally have been giving us the runaround for so long that I took that action. Like it's been 3 weeks that Target's been holding on to my money without refunding me. And it's a big company and it's just not right in my opinion. So with that being said, I'm probably never going to shop at Target again, unfortunately, because it's such a big brand. But it's disappointing that a company like that would give you terrible service. And they should have better policies and systems in place to actually help their customers out. And this isn't a rant on customer service. I don't want you to think that. But if you can think like in the minds of your dream clients, what it means to actually live up to the promise of your brand, live up to your return policy and all the policies that you have, and actually prove to them that it's true. That really creates a connection and creates loyal fans for life. The next step number 3, is to create content that connects. This is really important. So we talk a lot about blogging over here at Flourish and Thrive. We talk a lot about social media posting, about Pinterest and YouTube and all those sorts of things that can actually help you create brand awareness and growth. So you want to make sure that your content is centered on your dream client and the stuff that they actually care about. So you can do this by thinking about keywords that they might search for and help like juice up some SEO in there, but also topics that they're concerned about, things that in relation to your jewelry that they might be interested in. Connect them with them through your blog, through your about page content, and through the overall copy that's written on your website. I think this is really important. Lisa Lehman is one of our SOS students, and she did such a great job with a new pop-up that she put on her site, and she's testing a few things out. We're working on tweaking the copy because it was a little bit long, and I suggested that she shorten it. I'm sure it's been shortened by now. But she wanted to try something different, and I love it when people experiment. And she just wrote something on there. I have secrets, and I want to share them with you. Sign up for my mailing list to get insider access, special sales, and our super secret Facebook group where, X, Y, and Z. So it was just like super fun. And it was like, I looked at it and I was like, whoa, you got secrets to share? What are those secrets? And it kind of piques curiosity and helps you kind of connect with that brand. So I think she had done a really good job with that. So think in terms of your dream client. What is going to connect with them? Answer their questions. Add value to their lives. Teach them something. Use images that can be used in any format, or make sure that your images can be used in any format, especially on your blog content. So we just added a new plugin for my website called Easy Social Icons. And this plugin, we have, you can format images in different sizes to work on different social platforms so that when people want to share the content, it actually can be shared in the right format. So it's a really great opportunity. And I know that Shopify has a ton of plugins and apps for this as well. So make sure that you do your research and you have properly formatted images that can be shared across different social media platforms so that when your dream clients have something that they want to share, that it's actually in the right context and format. So I want you to think about the next step, or step number 4, that's going to really create a connection on your website with your dream clients, is to have a point of view and a brand personality. So no one does it better than Katie Sellers. Actually, a lot of people do it really well. Katie Sellers is one of them. I feel like Jackie Aish does a really good job. Melissa Camilleri Anasich of Shop Compliment or Compliment Inc. does an amazing job of having a brand personality. Like, what does your brand stand for? What are the core values? How can you create that connection? How are you creating that connection in everything that you do for your brand? This should be included in all of your visuals. It should be polarizing. I know that a lot of you are trying to appeal to everyone and make everyone happy, but the more that you can polarize people and get them to see that this is for them or not for them, the better chance you are going to have of really making this awesome. So keep that content polarizing and make sure that you're being consistent across all platforms. So you don't want to act like a different persona or have a different brand point of view on your Instagram than you do on your website, and different on your Facebook than your Instagram, and different on your YouTube, and different on your Pinterest. Make sure that it's streamlined and that it's consistent across the board, across all platforms that you're using. And trust me here, you can start small. Like a lot of you are probably just using Instagram, Facebook, and your website right now. It's totally cool. But as you start to expand out into other markets and other types of social sharing tools, especially SEO tools like Pinterest and YouTube, you want to make sure that the personality and the branded images are similar. Show them the clear path. So be clear on what they should do next wherever they are on your website. Try something new, like test different things out that actually create a connection. Make sure that there are no more than 3 clicks for someone to get from a place on your website to actually click that buy button to purchase. And what I mean by that is that, let's say you have a homepage slider that's featuring a new collection. Someone clicks shop now, should take them to that collection where they can select images. They can click one of those images and then click that buy button and be in the shopping cart that quickly. You don't want to take them through multiple pages, like take them to a collection page and then they have to pick the collection, and then they have to once they pick the collection, they have to sort through the products, and then they sort through the products, then they have to pick a product. Like that's too many steps. Streamline it as much as possible, but make it as elegant and streamlined looking as possible. Make sure that you have strong calls to action on every single blog post. At the bottom of every blog post, you should just have a form that sits there that is basically sign up for our email list form. It shouldn't say sign up for our email list. It should say something like stay up to date or get notified when the newest blog content's available or the newest magazine content's available. You get the picture, something along those lines. So that should just be standard at the bottom of your blog post. In the text of your blog, in the content of your blog, you should be sending people to actually buy and or download something to collect their email address and or get them to buy. So if you're writing a blog post, Michelle Richards of Shell's Bells, as I like to call her, because that's her Facebook handle, is doing a blog post about chakras because she has chakra healing jewelry. And that blog post at the end, she was like, what should my call to action be? And I'm like, definitely to buy those pieces of those chakra pieces. And so in that, I would advise her to like maybe help people identify which chakra needs balancing and then send them to actually buy. But at the bottom of that blog post, she might even have like a download graphic that says download my free guide, how to balance your chakras with things that you have in your household every single day or something like that. Because that creates that final call to action for her to be able to stay in touch with them over the long term. And number 6, the number 6 part of this little piece of the puzzle is to make sure that you're updating your website and your blog with content regularly, at least once a month. Make sure that you're sending out emails at least once a month, but hopefully more like once a week, and keep people connected to your brand. Have a conversation. Set up autoresponders that are connected to your website so that when someone opts in, you're taking them through your brand journey and what you're all about so that you can create that connection and keep them coming back for more. That piece is really, really important. That nurture sequence on the front end to sort of create trust, build brand loyalty, and stay connected is super, super important. All right. I hope that's helpful. This is how you can create a real connection on your website with your dream clients. Thank you so much for listening today. I mentioned that we were going to have a free resource called Websites That Work. I would love for you to download this. We're going to cover 27 ways to captivate and convert your dream clients online. You can definitely download it over at the show notes, but you can also download it straight from the source over at flourishthriveacademy.com/websites that work. That's flourishthriveacademy.com/websites that work. We'll also have in the show notes links to our live event. The early bird ends at the end of April, so make sure that you jump in if you're interested in coming to New York. As I mentioned, it's September 26th and 27th. As I mentioned, tickets are over halfway sold out already. I can't believe it. I'm super stoked. I am nervous that the event is going to sell out by the end of April. So if you're interested in getting a ticket, make sure that you grab that. And, check out some of our other episodes that are going to really help you create that real connection with your dream clients online. All right. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Shopify, today. Until next time, everyone, take care. This is Tracy Matthews signing off.